It's been a very historic morning in Indian sports if you look at it. Shooting leading the way, tennis contributing, squash contributing, some contributions in table tennis. At the same time, cricket is also beginning with the warm-up games that are going to happen today. One of them involves Pakistan. Pakistan versus New Zealand in Hyderabad. That, by the way, will be played behind closed doors because of the lack of security that they could be afforded for this game today. So there will be no fans. Pakistan versus New Zealand warm-up game begins today. But even before the ball has been bowled and even before the World Cup begins, the PCB are at it again. How? In a recent press conference, they referred to India as another entity, and it has gone viral for all the wrong reasons, because PCB chairman Zaka Ashraf recently in a press conference stated that if you want your morale, if you want the players' morale to be high in an enemy country or where the competition is held, you have to be at your best. If the players' morale should be high in an enemy country, PCB has referred to India without mincing any words. It is clear. You can listen to it even on social media. You can listen it to all the platforms. Dushman Mulk. Dushman Mulk means the enemy country where the competition is currently being held. Where is the competition being held? India. Pakistan are referring to the Dushman Mulk in India and they have called it an enemy country. Now, yet again, for all the fans' adulation, for all the welcome that the Pakistan team got, this is the thing that they get back in return. A country's cricket board calls India an enemy country. While there is nothing to dispute on that, see, India and Pakistan have been at loggerheads ever since 1947. 3 wars have been fought. The political situation, the bilateral situation is at an all-time low when it comes to India and Pakistan. But these kind of statements on the sidelines of a World Cup, that too from an established entity like the Pakistan Cricket Board, does not speak well itself. And remember, Pakistan may be getting all the adulations. Everybody will be going gaga over a rivalry which is just about surviving only to be there. There is no rivalry in the India-Pakistan cricketing setup. I am sorry. Whatever it is political jingoism, and that jingoism spills over into cricket. Calling India a Dushman Mulk is a clear-cut indication of how the Pakistan mentality is at this point in time. It has always been like this and it will continue to be like this in the coming years, decades, or whatever centuries you may want to call it. You cannot change the mindset of a nation that is forever in paranoia and absolutely in disagreement with itself. That is Pakistan. So, now on the sidelines of this, the Pakistan cricket team are beginning their World Cup campaign against New Zealand. Now, World Cup warm-ups are not counted as an international game. They are not even counted in the statistics. They are just there to ensure that you get into the scope of things. Pakistan, remember, every single thing, every single controversy that has come about, somewhere or the other, Pakistan is involved. October 15th, India could not play Pakistan in Ahmedabad because of the security situation, rescheduled it to October 14th. Pakistan-England could not be played on November 12th in Kolkata because of the festivities that's there and security apparatuses were caught napping. Changed that. Pakistani players were not issued the visa. They were issued just a day or two before they were to arrive in Hyderabad. That's why they had to cancel their pre-World Cup routine in Dubai. So they had to head to Hyderabad directly. Now, after all of this, Pakistan are finally playing. Now, it remains to be seen how they manage in these remaining World Cup fixtures, because looking at how Pakistan's build-up has been, it's been typical Pakistan. Chaotic and riddled with injuries. But apart from that, today there are 2 more games that are happening in the warm-up encounters, and that is South Africa versus Afghanistan and Sri Lanka take on Bangladesh. These are the 2 teams who are going to play in the warm-up fixtures. So 3 games today: Pakistan versus New Zealand, South Africa versus Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh. We all know that tomorrow India are going to take on England at Barsapara, and it's going to be a high voltage clash. Remember, it's a warm-up game. Nothing is at stake, but still, if you do well in the warm-ups, it can give you a good mental psychological edge heading into the World Cup. So that match will be very, very vital, and we at Sports Today will be covering all that as well. There has been some mixed results apart from the glory and glamour of shooting that is there in India at this point. Because remember, today, 2 gold, 2 silver. Two gold and 1 silver has been won by the shooters today, and it's a testament to their resilience that they have been able to do it. But as far as other sports are concerned, there is mixed results. Badminton, for example, PV Sindhu was up by 1 game, but somehow she lost to her Thai opponent and lost it 2-1. India women's team never recovered, and they have crashed out against Thailand. They are knocked out in the quarterfinals. So 3-0, golden opportunity for India missed, because PV Sindhu continues to show her inconsistency, and that is very, very worrying indeed. You have to feel for Sharat Kamal and Satyan Gyanasekaran. Yes, you have to feel for them. They lost today, but you have to understand the pedigree of the opponents that are there. The doubles encounter that India had, it was against China, one of the greatest countries ever to play table tennis. And who were their opponents? Fan Zhendong and Chen Wingking. Chen Wingking is one of the top players in the world, and Fan Zhendong has been the #1 ranked player for many years now. After Ma Long, it's Fan Zhendong who's managed to ensure that China's table tennis greatness is carried to the next level. And you saw some of the shots today that they played, the backhand, the court return, the coverage. The Chinese players were exceptional. And despite putting up a fight in the third set, Sharat Kamal and Satyan Gyanasekaran are out in the men's doubles. But it had to happen. You were not expecting a miracle. If Satyan and Achanta Sharat Kamal had won, it would have been an earthquake that would have knocked the table tennis sport out of its Richter scale. It would have been one of the greatest ever feats in the history of the sport. Joshna Chinnappa and the India women's team have managed to win the bronze at this point in time. But remember, it was a magnificent display. Joshna Chinnappa won her game, but unfortunately Tanvi lost her game. Anahat Singh tried her level where she won 8 consecutive points in the last game, but unfortunately she could not hold a nerve against an opponent with double her experience and age. She lost, and unfortunately India have lost to Hong Kong but have settled for the bronze medal. But there is great news. If Sharat Kamal and Satyan Gyanasekaran are out, then Manika Batra has avenged her revenge, because she now has reached the next round in the table tennis singles encounter, where she's beaten Savita Bhatt of Thailand. Now remember, Savita Bhatt had defeated her in the team event, and that is why this was revenge. Remember, Savita Bhatt has been in good form in the Ultimate Table Tennis League. And just for a side information, Savita Bhatt is also a policewoman in Bangkok. So policewoman, part table tennis player. Manika Batra came up against her, and boy, she put on a brilliant display, and that's why India's table tennis hopes are very much alive, but only by a faint thing. Because remember, you reach the semi-final or the final, you will have to take on China, and beating China, very bluntly, very realistically, is next to impossible in table tennis. So, World Cup warm-ups are about to begin. We are now into official World Cup silly season. From 29th onwards till 19th of November, you're going to see World Cup dominate the cricketing space. Until October 8th, you're going to see the Asian Games. But Pakistan's comments, I'm sorry, just not warranted, and any amount of criticism will not do. There has to be strong action, but the problem is no one will take strong action. That's the entire problem. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget to download the SportsTalk mobile app for all the information, all the highlights you need of the Asian Games as well as the World Cup, which will be coming up soon. Bye-bye.